Holy incantations. This is FlightCheck Season 2, Episode 20. We're back once again talking FlyQuest in all capacities, and I just realized I gotta move NXI's camera over. My name is Sandy Toes, and to my left, and my XRF, I also have to move my camera over. I'm like leaning all the way over on my thing. My fellow hosts, Nox War and Curly Double Q. However, to my right is our special guest of the evening, NXI, ex-FlyQuest Academy jungler extraordinaire, terror of the jungle, the Lee Sin master himself, the man who was not allowed into Champions Queue, which is an outrage. This man deserves to get his space in Champions Queue. Get him in there. NXI, how are you? I don't think we have. I know Nox has talked to you a little bit here and there, but I know the general public hasn't really heard too much from you. I know you've been streaming a bit, but how are things going? Are you still in LA or did you move away? What's up with you?
Hey, I'm doing all right. Yeah, I've been talking to Nox. Obviously, I see like all three of you in the stream sometimes. I was trying to like, go hard streaming, but I tried to like, I made it like another goal to just like try to focus a bit more on solo queue lately, so I haven't been streaming. But as for where I'm living, yeah, I went back home after I stopped playing competitive because I just wanted to take a break, So right now I'm in like the Washington D.C. area, so all the way on the East Coast. So even if I do play,
you're right by Sandy then.
I'm in the Washington D.C. area actually.
Dude, we gotta
go grab some coffee.
Dude, we gotta hang out. Yeah, that's so cool. No, awesome. Nox, I know, has a fair amount of questions that he wrote up for us, so we'll get into those. But I do have to check in with my fellow co-hosts. Guys, just a quick note on the weekend. I have to apologize to you both because after the Friday game, I said, all right, we're 1-0. That means the 1-2 curse is officially back on. So it's my fault.
And then you dipped for the weekend to let it happen too.
So it's 100% my fault. I caused the 1-2 weekend. I take full responsibility for that.
NXI, how do you feel about hosting a podcast every Monday that talks about FlyQuest? I feel like you'd provide some good insight. You're also a jungler, and Sandy just so happens to be retiring after tonight.
Get me in there, dude. I got all the juicy secrets of 2021.
Oh, it's true. He does have all the juicy deets.
It's true. He does have all the details.
I got the behind-the-scenes leaks.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
I mean, Sharks has already told us that you're the beer pong champion of FlyQuest, so...
We've heard.
I'm the GOAT. Dude, him and I are undefeated.
Nice.
I've never lost in beer pong.
Fantastic.
What a god.
Amazing. All right, well, let's get into it. Nox, if you want to just kind of start off with your first question, and then we'll just kind of keep going around the horn.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I was telling you before, just we're doing some catching up, right? So first main thing was just like, how was it playing for FlyQuest? I mean, how was it being a part of the team? What's the atmosphere like? So on and so forth. Just what was it like for you?
FlyQuest? It was fun. It was good. Obviously it was like my first actual like competitive, I guess, like environment, because I did play on 100x for like 2 weeks prior, and I guess like a scouting grounds for like a week. But
hey, but you won those, and that's what matters.
yeah. But obviously it wasn't like in person. Even scouting grounds wasn't in person, so it kind of felt like didn't really feel any different than solo queue in a sense. But obviously I met like really good people there. But yeah, playing on FlyQuest was cool. Like the whole environment, like it was really try hard, right? The people that I got to meet, even like. Yeah, obviously, like, I got intimidated by some people at first. Like, obviously, Jose Dioto was, like, a huge name, right? I thought he was going to be an asshole before I met him. Yeah, but I ended up being... No, just because, I don't know, man. I don't know why I thought that. Like, literally nothing pointed towards that. But, yeah, I got to room with him, and, like, he was honestly one of the closest people that I was with on FlightQuest. Yeah, that's for, like, the whole org. Like, everybody was great. Like, Nick, my coach, Richard, my teammates. everything was cool.
So just because you're talking about Jose, one of the guys in our Discord really wanted me to ask you this question, but who has the better Lee Sin, you or Jose Deodo?
Dude, if I say I have the better Lee Sin, everybody in LAN is gonna hate me. It's Jose Deodo, man. Actually, Brandon's Lee Sin
You
is
got the
correct.
better, if you got the better Lee Sin, own it, dude. You just gotta own it.
Brandon's Lee Sin's too correct. He's too crazy.
All right.
It's true.
Fair enough. So
He
from
is
the
humble.
sounds of it, everything about for the most part, everything about FlightQuest was pretty chill and a good time overall. With having said that, how was the departure from the team? Because Sharks and Nick talked about it a little bit, but more just from your perspective. What I guess for you, how was it like leaving?
Honestly, it wasn't like nothing personal or anything. You know what I mean? Like, I think if you guys see Twitter, I guess, because I don't really use social media that much, but I'm still on like good terms with everybody. You know what I mean? But for the most part, I just like towards the end of last year, just a lot of like problems, personal, like a lot of personal problems, and then like some team problems, right? Just like led to like me not really wanting to play competitive anymore. You know what I mean? So it's just,
Okay.
and obviously that wasn't like, I don't know. It's not like I would stay on a team or something if like, you know, my attitude and like mental wasn't good. So yeah.
So I guess in that sense, would you say it's more of a break, or are you done competing?
I'd say it was a break. Funnily enough, back in like October, November, it was like I really hated the game. You know what I mean? Like the thought of playing League just like it disgusted me. Like I remember we had to play like tryouts or scrims, whatever, for like a combine, and I was focusing on myself, like just like going out, because like the esports life is a bit rough. Like you don't really get to go out much, right? If you're like tryharding and stuff, like not really much time for fun, I guess.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
makes sense.
getting to the top takes a lot of work, but then staying at the top is even more work. Because I think we were like by far the best academy team in summer when everything.
I'd agree with that.
But
100%.
yeah. But basically, yeah, I had to play the combine, and I just hated it. You know what I mean? Like it was awful. And then that's kind of like what made me realize, like, yeah, I don't want to, you know. But I thought I was gonna quit back then. But I mean, I came back to give it like a go. I told myself I was just like, I'm gonna just give it a month or two. And if I hate it, then now I know for sure. But I've been liking League a lot recently.
Nice.
But I've also like fixed a lot of outside problems. So I think a lot of that helped with my mental
For
and
sure.
attitude. towards it.
Okay.
Have you been
So-
looking to join up with any amateur teams, playing like Proving Ground, something like that, or are you still kind of like trying to, maybe not shake off the rust, but like try to get yourself up to a point where you feel like it's worth your time to be playing competitive again?
So I came back mid-April, like around mid-late April, right? And I think Proving Grounds in summer was already starting back up soon. And like I got asked that a lot, obviously, because people were curious, right? Because I was screaming as well. But for summer, I don't want to play competitive, just because I don't want to drop everything that I had built around me in life. It seemed a bit like sporadic to just leave, even if I did like get an offer or something, right? To just join, because obviously competitive is a commitment, right? Like it's a commitment in a stressful environment in a sense. So just for summer, I'm chilling, and for spring 2023, I'll probably play competitive again, whether it be like, you know, I don't know what's gonna happen, but not for summer.
Okay. Cool.
Solid. Do you think you would try to get back in, because now, you know, with the whole amateur ecosystem, you know, kind of a bit more of like grassroots support for it, people are really starting to pay attention to it. We've seen other NA players like kind of rise up through the ranks through the whole system now. It's maybe got a little bit more respect. I mean, how do you feel about how that amateur to academy to LCS ecosystem looks? Is it like more viable to get up to the top tier for someone, you know, who either took a break or is just looking to get in for the first time? Like, what are your thoughts on the ecosystem right now?
I think, well, I think the ecosystem is like good, like right, like putting amateur on like LCS, like I think they're on like the LCS Academy channel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that's good. I think the ecosystem or like everything in a whole is a lot better than when I was playing because I think because like way back then I never even considered amateur, but obviously 100x is like just the biggest brand at the time. So I thought if I was gonna play, like this is a good opportunity. But as for getting into the ecosystem, I think you can still get picked up from solo queue, even though like solo queue, obviously there's champs queues now, but it's like you can perform well in champs queue as well. But even like getting like top ranked in solo queue, I think you'll still be noticed. Same as for doing good in amateur as well. But for coming back, I'm not quite sure. Like I'm open to amateur. Like if I have to play, like I don't really mind. I had talked to a lot of people about it, but I don't know if it's like harder or not than when I played, right? Because amateur didn't seem like too hard from like a rookie point of view when I just randomly started. And I remember scrimming amateur teams last year, and it wasn't like that challenging, I guess. But it was like obviously it's our job, right? When you're in academy, it's our job. You're playing like 5-6 days a week of scrims and like solo queue on top of that. I don't know how much of a time commitment it is for amateur, but yeah.
I know for a fact that some like of the top amateur teams will only get like 2 or 3 scrims in a week.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like it's way less games.
Yeah. Knox, you got something else, I know.
So no, I was gonna let Curly step in. He hasn't spoken at all, but
I mean, so I kind of have my own question that I think I kind of want to hold out for. Actually, no, I'll ask it now because
just
we're
ask it
talking
now.
a lot. Yeah, we're asking a lot about we're talking about academy, amateur, and like kind of that's got me thinking about particularly how the lines between everything are kind of like not blurred, but they're a little bit more like they're softer than they seem because you have Danny who hopped up to the league last year and Jojo who like just got in, and then more particularly I'm thinking about how mid-season like our whole academy got thrown in when you were in the LCS. So like from your perspective, who as someone who was like thrown into the LCS from academy, how do you think that like impacts the players that are in academy that could be thrown up like brought up at any point? Does that make them try harder? Does that impact their mental? Like what is it like being like, hey, you're up?
It definitely makes you try a lot harder, but it like the nerves and the anxiety obviously like hits you as well, right? You go from like 5,000 people watching to like 100,000 plus, right? Like 100 to 200,000 people watching. So obviously like that's a bit nerve-wracking. And then it's like, but honestly, playing on that stage is pretty cool, you know? Like the environment is just like way different. Because even when we were playing academy, like we were playing in the office, right? Which is like it's cool, but it's like not any different than scrims. But like playing on the stage is just like a surreal feeling. But yeah, I definitely think like newcomers will like try like a lot more because there's a sense of like I don't want to speak for everybody, but like there is like definitely a sense of complacency and like obviously LCS Academy, right? And I think that's like just natural human behavior, I guess, when you're so accustomed to being, you know, LCS or Academy for like years, like you feel entitled to the job, right? You feel like, oh, I belong here, right? It's like nothing new. But obviously, like if you've been playing Academy for like 2-3 years and you get promoted to LCS, then it's just like, oh, it's a brand new stage. But I'm sure for veterans that have been playing for like years, like to them it's like nothing, you know?
Yeah.
But obviously, like I've known like LCS players who like got demoted to Academy and then, you know, their egos or whatever are pretty big. Like myself included too. Like I'm not gonna lie, when I went back to LCS to Academy, I think like I played super well my first like 2 weeks of Academy, but then yeah, I got complacent. I was just like, it's just not, you know, like fun. It's not the right attitude to have, but
Yeah.
it's just like what naturally like, you know, happened. I was just like, oh yeah, I'm just having fun. Like it's not as challenging. I went to like versing Speak Up, Blabber, Closer, and Scrims and stuff to like versing, you know, like Academy people, and the skill gap is huge. So. Yeah.
So you say that after your time off, in your 6 months off from competitive, that you've developed a better mental, and then come 2023, like you're ready to hit the ground running.
Yeah, for sure. Wait, can I curse?
Yeah,
it's fine, dude.
Oh, okay, yeah, I just fucked up in 2021, man. Dude, I just made a lot of wrong decisions. You know what I mean? Like I did a lot of things I thought was right, but wasn't at the time. Like invested my time in wrong things. just a lot of like personal problems that I just didn't fix and realized that it was bad like after it happened. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm like 100% sure that I'll be like. I think I'll be like a lot better in 2023 than 2021 because like I don't even feel like I got to like fully commit to the legend. So with like everything happening outside the.
Have you had any like techniques for kind of like regaining your focus, or just like steps that you've taken to just kind of like, because I know I can totally relate to that, where it's just like, all right, yeah, I invested my time in like either the wrong people or just the wrong things, and then all of a sudden I'm like, wait, what am I doing? And it's like, and you got to kind of reset. So like, what were some of the things that you did to just kind of help you reset?
Oh man, dude! I think back in like November, like I officially like just wasn't playing League anymore, right? It was actually so funny, dude. I was like, I just full sent it, dude. Like every week, I was just going to another state, but just like traveling. You know what I mean? Like I was like hanging out with my friends, just like prioritizing everything that I had neglected.
Mm.
You know, like friends, family, like my mental and physical health. It was funny. Like I went to New York in like I think it was like October, right? And like I was really unhealthy, right? Like I was walking around the city and like I realized how unhealthy I was, cause I was just like, yo, like this isn't okay. So that's what like kind of kickstarted me to like start working on my physical health, right? Because I wasn't happy with like my appearance, and obviously that affected my mental health. And then after that, like I was just really hard grinding like self improvement, like just doing research and like learning about nutrition and stuff, and like how to take care of myself more. But then I had realized like I had a dependency on going out because I was going out so much. So then in December, I had worked on enjoying my own company and being able to stay home while not like playing games or anything, but still like just like going to the gym every day in December, and then like just going home and like I literally finished One Piece from like start to finish. Like that's how much I was at home, man.
Dude, nice.
You finished One Piece? That's
I
impressive.
literally finished One Piece. Yeah.
Credit to Lee in the chat, but literally you did your own me quest.
Oh yeah.
That's
I was
amazing.
neglecting the B quest while it was happening, but
Yeah.
after. Yeah.
See, now Zin, you finished One Piece. The next step is finishing all of Sesame Street, because there's actually thousands more episodes.
Bruh, what?
Yeah.
Have you not seen that meme?
No.
I've not. I was gonna suggest like catching up on all of Naruto or all of Dragon Ball. Just.
I finished those because I read them as a kid.
Oh,
I like
yeah,
watched
yeah.
them as a kid.
of
We're
course.
waiting on Bleach to come out later this year. That's the big one.
Is that,
Oh,
do
yeah,
they
dude, I'm gonna
still
watch that,
make
too.
that? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's coming back after a 10-year hiatus, man.
Classic.
Yeah, I'm hyped for it. It looks good.
Actually, to ring things back in, because you are talking about your mental health a lot, and I think that personally something that I've talked about a few times on here is how players, like I've seen, probably don't take care of themselves too well. So like as someone who went through like being a rookie, getting promoted up to LCS, like do you have any advice for younger players to make sure they don't lose their mental health for the sake of the game?
Honestly, truth be told, I'm lucky, right? I was lucky because with my year and a half or whatever in esports, like I was financially able to take a break. Like that's not something a lot of people can say, right? Like people don't get to just take a few months off of life. Like they don't get to stop work, school, their career, whatever it is, right? So in that sense, I'm really lucky because I was able to like invest all that time into just improving myself. Same thing with like pro play, right? Like I don't think I would have improved myself if I was still playing competitive. Like honestly, like if I was still in competitive in 20 like spring split, like I don't think I would have done anything that I did. But that's not an excuse to, say that you can't take care of yourself during competitive, because obviously I did a lot of self-reflecting. And it's like there's definitely time, right? There's definitely time to like go to the gym. Like eating healthy is just a choice you make, not really a time commitment and all that stuff. And just like making time for your friends and all that stuff. So like I guess advice I'd say is to just I guess League, like it does consume you though, like to be the best, like you do have to make sacrifices, don't get me wrong, right? But a lot of people don't like prioritize their sleep, like getting the amount of sleep they need. Like a lot of people don't eat right because it's just easier to just grab a snack or like order out or whatever when you have so much money, like so much disposable income
Yeah.
as a pro player. And yeah, just the gym, obviously, like people just it's natural to just I think it's really impressive people that like have been going to the gym like 4 or 5 times a day or a week, for the past like however many years. But yeah, I think most pro players know what they should be doing. It's just hard to do the things you're supposed to do in a stressful environment.
Do you
So,
think?
You. Oh.
I was gonna ask, is there, just due to the amount of scrims, and then you got to do like content, and then you got to play solo queue on top of that. I could absolutely see how you can just be totally mentally exhausted at the end of the day. I mean, I know, like, I'll come home from work, right? And I work like an 8-hour day normally. I'll come home and I'm just like, I'm tired. And like, maybe I did go to the gym, but so now I'm just like mentally just done. And I've got stuff I need to do at home, but I'm just tired. Like, is that, and
Sorry. I relate to that too.
yeah, and I think, did you see that, like, kind of in your time, just people, maybe not pacing themselves appropriately? Would that be something that you would say is a common occurrence?
I can't speak fully for other people because I never like obviously there's like a lot of stuff going on with everybody, but for me personally, like yes and no at the same time.
Yeah.
Like finishing scrims and then so obviously like the schedule would just be like you wake up and like you'd go to the office and then eat breakfast at the office, like have a team meeting in the morning before like prep for scrims, play scrims, and then you eat dinner, and then you go home and then you shower and stuff, right? But then obviously you have to like play solo queue or like champs queue now, right? To like because you got to just stay on top of your shit. But yeah, you just get exhausted, and like I guess life doesn't get mundane, but like going to the gym on top of all of that is pretty impressive. Just because you do have to balance your sleep, right? You got to have a specific sleep schedule, and then you also have to you can't just I guess it's kind of weird, right? It's really weird because friendship, you have your team and your org, right? And obviously that's like a lot of people that are like that you can talk to every day on a daily basis and like care about. But at the same time, it's like sometimes you just want to talk to people like not about League. You know what I mean? Like you just want to talk about other stuff. So it's hard to balance like your friends back at home, and like obviously you can't hang out with them because you're in LA or something. And obviously even if you do meet new people in LA, like it's usually around the League scene because that's how you meet them. So
Right.
yeah, it's just it's pretty exhausting, I'd say, to just be able to get up and do it every day. But yeah, I mean I don't know. I try to like remind myself sometimes, I guess, or like back then there's harder jobs out there, so complaining.
So, genuine question: do you think it would have been more beneficial to have FlyQuest as an org go do more non-related league-related stuff as a team, like go to the gym together, go to the pier together, go like carnival, whatever it may be, just like non-league related stuff? Like, do you think FlyQuest did enough of that with you and like the academy guys and even the LCS guys?
They tried, man.
They tried. Okay, then that's fair.
Yeah, we were lazy, man. Or but like a lot of us were just like just let us play solo queue. Just like up the solo queue or whatever. Like like just let us play more solo queue. Yeah, a lot of us just like obviously myself included, just like didn't want to go on like those hikes or something. The only time we'd go out was like Korean barbecue, man. It was so messed up. But yeah,
those K barbecue pics look good though.
Yeah, they tried. Like it's not like FlyQuest didn't try. But and like we did a decent amount of things, I'd say. Like, but yeah, at the end of the day, I think it's good. Like looking back now, right, to spend time with your team outside the game. Because then I think if you're closer to your team, like it's a lot easier to be able to criticize them for stuff, right, and not make it feel personal, I guess. Like because I think that's just natural for humans to just be like like defensive, I guess, when they get like called out for something, So I think it's just like it's a lot easier to just hard flame somebody and then just say it's not personal, and they know it's not personal at the end of the day.
Yeah. Well, I think we've got probably just a couple questions left.
Yeah, I was gonna say we'll probably start wrapping up real quick here. I was gonna ask. So we know your goals are 2023. You're gonna make the leap for competitive again, but do you have any goals? Just anything in general for the rest of 2022?
Not anything like specific. Like I just wanna keep playing solo queue. It's been rough recently, but I still want to. I think one of my goals is to hit like really high rank, like rank 1, 2. But it's been rough recently, man. I've been running it. Like you know what it is, man? It's the queue times, dude. It makes my brain so numb. Like I'm not stimulated for like 40 minutes at a time. Like play one game and maybe the game's really shit, and then I have to wait like 30, 40 minutes for another one, and it's just so bad. But that's not an excuse. But yeah,
That's fair.
other than that, like I just wanna. Honestly, I haven't been keeping up with my health recently. Like funnily enough, since we were on the topic of health, so I do want to like stay consistent on that, with the gym and my diet. Other than that, yeah, no other goes out of that. I should be streaming more, but yeah, it's hard to like try hard and stream for me personally because I always want to reach out and like answer people.
Yeah. Makes sense.
You're gonna hate this, but you know how in your Discord everyone's like, why isn't NXI streaming? Where's the stream? Where's your stream? You need to have your Discord hold you accountable for like workouts and proper eating habits.
Just drop them. Yeah, drop your daily workout in there, bro.
Dude, they just flame me, man.
Well, make them flame you for not working out instead of the streaming part.
Good idea.
Oh my god.
All
I'll let
right,
them know next stream.
I've got just like one quick question, just two questions, and then okay. So first one is, all right. So 2023 is where you're looking at. I mean, where do you want to end up? Are you looking to like make it back to LCS? Is that like the ultimate end goal? Or are you just like happy to just play competitively wherever you can? Kind of what's your mentality there?
Yeah, I want to play LCS, man. I've been watching Academy and Amateur sometimes. It's not looking pretty. Dude, it's not even like an ego thing, I was just like, some things just didn't make sense to me.
So what you're telling me
But-
is you can smurf on these kids.
Yeah. Wait, is that too egotistical?
No.
Nah,
dude.
If you-
Honestly,
Fine.
If you think you're good, then yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident. Like, if I played Academy again, it wouldn't be like too hard. But yeah, my goal is definitely like LCS,
Yeah, for sure.
But like, I'm down to like play whatever like I have to like get there. If I have to like prove myself or something again,
Mhm.
like it's.
Makes sense. All right, looks like we do have one quick viewer question, and then I'll ask my final question. So the question from Ricebox, longtime viewer of the show, friend of the pod.
Mod of Discord.
Yeah, mod of the FlyQuest Discord. Okay, so little sensitive, but if you don't want to answer, you don't have to. But did you know ahead of time that you were gonna be leaving FlyQuest, or was it like a sudden departure?
No pressure to answer if you don't want.
Yeah, if you don't want to answer, you don't have to. But
I knew like 3 weeks ahead of time that I really didn't play a competitive sorry. I knew like about 3 weeks ahead of time that I didn't want to play competitive anymore, but at the end of the split, I still had my drive, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah, that makes
when
sense.
we lost Proving Grounds, like I was really ready to like just, like focus up and like fix things for next year.
yeah,
But then along the way, like, yeah, I think it was when I came home, like I just realized I wasn't really enjoying League anymore. Like, when I flew back home and like started
Makes
hanging
sense.
out with people. Yeah.
for sure. Cool. All right, last question then. So yeah, been grinding the solo queue when you can, streaming when you can. So what's your favorite like build, like champ and build to play right now? Like, what's the most fun thing for you to be playing?
Dude, everything's so boring right now, I swear. The thing is, man, like, talent, honestly, is the most fun that I have, but, like, I'm not that good at it. And, like, I think you have to be, like, really good to be able to pull it off, And, like, I watch, like, videos of talent, I'm like, I can't. Like, I think I can play it, but I can't play it when I watch actual good talent.
Makes sense. Is there something
other-
that you've seen Like some crazy off meta pick that you've seen someone else playing that you're like, huh, that actually kind of works.
Not too crazy, but I have seen like a lot of things pop up recently. I think, by the way, anybody in chat that plays jungle or whatever, like just you guys too, Viego's broken, all right? But he's getting nerfed to the ground, so it doesn't even matter. But Viego's broken because you can go like 4 different builds, so you like adapt to any game. You
That's
know?
pretty good.
And you can like gank and full clear. But other than that, I see like a lot of like Ghost is popping up a lot recently in the jungle, and you can take it on a lot of things, mostly like bruiser junglers that go like Gore Drinker, or like assassins like Kazakhs that can go bruiser. And then you can take it on like Kindred as well against tanks. Like if you're going like Kindred against like, I don't know, like a Volibear or something, like you can just kite them out and like out DPS them, right? Yeah. As for something crazy, like not really anything crazy, but just I think the thing that I think the general community feels like assassins are dead, but it's definitely still playable. Like Kiana Jungle is slowly creeping up in KR right now, and like just weird things, I guess. But mostly just like assassins are still prominent. So that's why when I saw the assassin buffs, I was really confused. So I was just like, why, But yeah, they didn't. They ended up not going through with it. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, they might come back. Who knows? I mean, I like assassins in the jungle, but that's just my playstyle. So.
Pride stalker.
Sure. Yeah, a little bit. All right. Well, you can catch NXI on his stream. It's twitch.tv/I'mNXI, correct?
Yeah. Perfect.
So you can do that. You can follow him on Twitter at Xindinh, XINDINH. So you can follow him there. Hey, thank you, man, so much for coming on the show and hanging out with us for a little bit, answering our questions and all that. Do you have anything you want to shout out before we move on with the show?
Thanks for having me, man. Shout out? Nah. Dude, I thought something to shout him out, but I'm not gonna do it, man. It's too messed up. Nothing else. Thanks for having me on the show. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
Yeah, thanks for coming in.
Cool.
Appreciate you.
Well, we're gonna take a quick break while we reset the show, and then we'll be back with our week 1 discussion of how FlightQuest did this past weekend. All right, see you guys in a bit.
Are you doing a second intro?
Hello, and welcome back to FlightCheck Season 2, Episode 20. No, I am not doing a second intro tonight. Holy Noxwar, getting on right as I unmute the desktop audio and everything. So, good times. Well, we just had NXI on the show. Great conversation with him. Really enjoyed getting to talk with him a little bit, find out what he's been up to. If there are any amateur or academy teams out there looking for a jungler, hit up my mans, because he's good and he's ready to come back. He's got that refreshed mental, and I know we'd be excited to see him back in the scene. All right. Well,
we're going to say real quick, though, for any audio listeners on like Apple Podcasts or anything like that, go check out that portion of the interview on our YouTube. It won't be on Apple Podcasts.
Well, it might be. I don't know. I might figure something crazy out, so we'll see what happens.
Guaranteed on our YouTube. So
guaranteed.
Give us views. We like it.
Yeah, guaranteed you can listen to the interview on our YouTube channel, and that is where you can find the VOD of this if you missed any portion of that interview. So right here on Twitch and also on YouTube on our channel, FlightCheck Podcast. And yeah, hopefully I can get the full audio version somehow together on all of your favorite listening platforms as well. All right. Like I said earlier today, I apologize, everybody, because I did create the 1-2 curse. I recreated it. I resurrected it. I said something in the Discord. I really should not have said anything at all, and here we are, 1-2. So I think just with the time that we have, we'll just kind of touch briefly on this weekend So let's just start with Friday. And Curly, this game was just good. Like,
Yeah.
clean, stomp. I was like, Philip looked great. I was like, man, these engages are good. Great game. I mean, I don't know what you have to say about it, but I'm sure it's going to be positive.
I mean, so I actually had the luxury of watching that game
Wow.
on the TV at my bar, because I was working while it was on, but I was managing, so I got to choose what was on the TV. And it was very awesome because, like, I still had to do some work during it all, but anytime I looked back, it was always something good happening on screen. Like, it was just, I just caught a good trade happen. We were, my favorite thing, I saw a lot of the early game, and we were just, like, efficiently getting every neutral objective. I'm like, yes, this is what I want to see. We love efficient pathing in this household.
Yeah.
And so it was very, very good. And I was very satisfied with everything I saw in that, and we got a well-deserved win against Golden Guardians because we should beat them.
Yeah. Yeah, Nox, I felt like every aspect of the team looked really good. I was particularly impressed, and unfortunately kind of contrasted with the Immortals game, but I was impressed with the aggressiveness and also the willingness to take advantage of the opportunities and to continue pressing the play further, pushing the tempo, was what really stuck out to me. I mean, it was a short game. It was under 30 minutes, right? I really want to say it was 27 minutes, but that might be incorrect. But yeah, I mean, what stood out to you in this Golden Guardians matchup?
I think more than anything was just draft choice, right? This was basically like Lane Kingdom combined with a jungler that can clear faster than pretty much any other champion in the game right now, outside of like one or two, right? But those one or two champions aren't necessarily the most meta ever. Not that Udyr is either, but it is the fastest jungle pick that could have been picked at the time, right?
Right.
And so combine that with 2 winning lanes in the mid and bot side, and then Philip, who just respectably held his own into a Gnar versus Camille matchup, which is very much a skill-based matchup, right? It just, everything went perfectly, right? Takoi kept a Blaze Olive shoved in. The bot lane was smashing. Granted, it's Lucian Nami, so it's supposed to smash, but I mean, the fact that you still did it, that's still a very good sign, right?
Yeah.
So, like, all those combined, like, lane priorities are there. Jose Dioto just has a field day. All the objectives are taken. Plates are getting taken. The bot lane's not getting any farm. A Blaze Olive can't make any roams because he's constantly shoved in. Every objective went our way, practically, and at that point, by the time it was time to team fight, FlightQuest was already up, like, 4 to 5k gold, and Golden Guardians can't team fight, and we just take it from there. So, just beautiful execution on the early games, very smart draft, and I honestly could not have asked more from that game. It was not a perfect game, but it was damn close to it. I was very, very happy with how the guys came out swinging.
Yeah, really solid. Yeah, I thought Philip looked good, in particular in his LCS debut. Jose, I think, really did well in the jungle matchup, and that was great to see. And so this was a really positive start. Unfortunately, to move ahead to Saturday, a game where should have won. I mean, 8,000 gold lead at one point. I mean, 7,500 gold lead. That is a game that needs to get closed out. And either of you, I'm wondering what your opinion is on where did it all go wrong?
I mean, my big thing is the biggest fight that really flipped it in Immortals' side was that I think it was when they were fighting around Baron. They were going for the second Baron. The positioning was very strange to me because Afromu and Takui were sitting in the red jungle, still helping like take the Baron, but it was like a weird start. And then all hell broke loose. They started fighting everyone. They got Kenvi down real quick, and then they were chasing, and then suddenly Revenge was on the bot side. And it looked good for us at first, but then you couldn't damage Revenge, and Revenge could damage the shit out of you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was that fight in particularly that like really catapulted to Immortal's side. But I do think the seedlings of that is we weren't able to keep Revenge in check early enough because Gwen is just the scaling champion like right now, or really always has been this entire season, where if you don't keep her in check, there's some point in the game where she'll just be like, hey, I'm immune, you're not, I'm gonna take all your health. And that's what happened. And then also after that, I think it kind of broke the mental a little bit because you had another bad team fight around the Drake that I think, I want to say it was like just again Gwen again, but like it was like you had that weird random ult from Afromu before it even happened, and then no one was in the right positioning. So I think that like that is the pinpoint of when everything flipped, but that wasn't when they started losing, if it makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Knox, how do you feel?
I think probably my biggest issue I had with this game, and it's not like a glaring thing, right? Because you don't really notice, but probably Jose. Hear me out here, but there were 3 different instances in which Jose got caught out, and he died in 2 out of the 3, and the third one still cost a major tempo play for Fly while they had the Baron. Mm-hmm. So, like all that combined, it was frustrating to see because it's like Fly had proper map movement and proper setups, and it would have been great and fantastic for them most of the time if Jose had just not gotten picked or hadn't been chunked out in that one particular instance, right? And so that resulted in a far much closer game. And then we can critique and nitpick the team fights, kind of like how Curly was talking about just a second ago. But I think personally, if Jose doesn't get picked those 2 times and doesn't get chunked out that 3rd time, we don't even have to go into those team fight scenarios. We can kind of go back to what we were doing in Game 1 against Golden Guardians and just continue to slowly push the map in at certain angles, and then they just get choked out. So personally for me, my biggest issue was Jose this game. So hopefully that was just a one-time thing more than anything, and we can kind of go from there. Because, I mean, Immortals has a great team fight comp as well as ours. So I think it's kind of 50-50 in that regard, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think... yeah, again, just to reiterate my point, I was just frustrated by the lack of closing out the game. You know, like, that is, again, it's a game that from that point you should be able to close out and win. And we've seen them do that before. I mean, we had just seen them the day before take their advantage against Golden Guardians and really press it and close out the game. So it was just frustrating to see kind of like the complete opposite. You know, get ahead, do really well early and most of the mid game, and then it starts collapsing, get some picks, or get picked a few times, and then it just all falls apart.
Now, to make it like that we're not talking about all bad things, something I do want to highlight is some of the real good things is actually like, despite getting first blooded, had a real good like 2v1 bot side to kill Revenge for Philip and get him started. So like that was one thing that was really good. Philip for the most part was actually really stable in the laning phase and did a good job against someone who's got more experience than him. And then also particularly Tukui, like always I think the silent hero of FlyQuest, in the fact that I was saying on stream today, I'm never worried about Tukui because against PoE, he was giving himself his own lead. He didn't really need any help from Jose Dioto. And then in particular, he is, I think, one of the best split-pushing mid laners because you don't see mid laners split push as often as top laners. Whereas this, he was like a major part of how we got the bot lane like pushed up when we got the first Baron. And I think he got the first turret up top, if I remember correctly. Like he's just really good at reading the map and getting like some breathing room and control for his team. So I was very happy to see that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do think there were some good bright spots out of the weekend for sure. However, one dark spot was definitely the EG game. EG looks good. The MSI hangover has not affected them whatsoever. They did not get
Told you that last week.
They
I
did
said
not
they
get
weren't going to deal with it.
the MSI debuff. It did not occur. And they looked really, really good. Our draft was very interesting. I liked it, was the thing. I liked the Twitch Yumi. I wasn't expecting Philip to play the Vlad. I don't know how much Vlad we've seen him play. It doesn't seem like it doesn't feel like it's a Philip champion. But I liked the draft. Even the Ari I liked. The Wukong not so much. And there were a couple moments, like I just remember the first one moment that you could really see the durability patch coming in was that first gank from Jose into top lane where Impact lives with just a sliver of health. I do wonder if there was an opportunity for him to just do one quick bonk with the Wukong staff and get the kill. But, you know, what's in the past is in the past. And I also don't know how much that really would have changed the trajectory of the game, because in this game for me, I just saw getting picked out a lot and some poor coordination in team fights. It felt like we got out team fought multiple times. There was one moment in particular, I think the kill score at the time was 6-5 in our advantage. And we actually had been doing decently, and they got, I think it was around Dragon, and they just kind of wiped the floor with us. I forget exactly what point that was, maybe between the 15 and 20 minute mark. And that whole fight just felt very uncoordinated from our angle, and you know, it's still early in summer, but that's the kind of mistake that you just like can't make. And I will definitely be watching to see how the team fight coordination is looking. But again, it wasn't like a brutal loss, but it also wasn't like a great loss either. So yeah, curious to see how you guys feel about this game.
I mean, for me personally, watching it live, like, it was, I had like a sense of like hope and like oof, I'll call it, because like you're right, we were ahead in kills and like we had moments where it felt like we technically had some form of lead, but I'm pretty sure the gold was still in EG's favor for the most part the whole time.
It was,
no
yeah.
matter what. And so it was very strange, because it's like, all right, well, we have some things that are technically doing well, but it doesn't feel like we are winning this fully to me. And so it was like, granted, right now I don't expect us to be able to face EG, because they are the best team in the league. They are the defending champions, the only one to have never lost a game when they came back from MSI. And they are, I think, just the most together team. That like they always know how to support each other, and so I do think it's just going to be hard for us to win against them, without us potentially having it, like maybe in playoffs we'll be able to pull it off. So I do think we put a good showing considering that, and I'm very happy with that.
Yeah, Knox, what were your kind of pain points with this game?
Pain points?
Yeah, just like moments that like caused you some consternation.
I think for me, my two main things are, I still don't like Afro on Yumi. Like, I understand the Twitch Yumi, like, even Danny himself in the interview afterwards was like, that is the most freaking annoying bot lane to deal with, because like you just pop up out of nowhere, you get double ulted and you're just dead. Like, you have to play that perfectly the moment he pops out of stealth. So, like, I really do understand it is a very annoying bot lane to deal with on anyone on EG, but I just don't really care to see Afro on the Yumi. I like seeing him more on playmakers, even if it happens to be something like Rakan or shoot, what did he play? Or the Nami, sorry, like, because that's an enchanter too, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it has a little bit more agency than what the Yuumi has. Like, the whole thing about Yuumi is it gives agency to other players on your team. It gives agency to your teammates. You don't really have the agency yourself. And for Afro, I think he operates and the team operates better under having 5 players that have agency rather than, like, say, quote unquote 4.5. So the pick, I can see it being good. I just don't think it's the pick for Afro. And the second thing we've already talked about, it was just kind of that whole top lane thing of just like, you kind of probably should have had an idea they were all coming. I don't know why you stuck around so long. Mm-hmm. So those are probably my 2 main pain points. I did, however, want to focus on something good, and this isn't just the EG game alone. This is kind of over the course of the whole weekend. Mm-hmm. But Koi has looked very, very good so far.
Yeah.
I'm sure some people may be like, he didn't really do all that much. And it's like, no, look a little closer.
Back to that all-pro form.
Yeah, like, look in the Golden Guardians game. Consistently kept a Blaze Olive shoved in the turret. And, like, go look at my, what was it, FlightCheck radar of Takoi back in, like, December. I said he consistently keeps his opposing mid laner shoved under turret so they cannot roam. That is exactly what he did against a Blaze Olive. Power of Evil was a little bit more of an even lane, but that's fine. Like, I would say out of everyone in the league, Power of Evil is like the one other player who also plays control mages as well as he does. Right. So, even lane. And then the other thing is, out of the 6 games, if I'm doing my math right, yeah, because 2 regular seasons, game tiebreaker, 7 games. Out of the 7 games, FlyQuest played EG. Takoi lost lane to JoJo 5 out of those 7. One of them was even, and then the other one was basically Jose Dioto, like, camped the lane and basically got JoJo ahead, and that was our 1 win in playoff. So, with that said, this is the second time, and this time it was out without a whole bunch of assists from Jose. Not to say Jose wasn't helping, but this is the second time Takoi has had a lane where he went even with JoJo. So, for me, that is improvement. And so, I really wanted to give a shout out to Takoi because I think in the first 3 games, even though the team's 1 and 2, he's looked very solid in all 3 so far, and I've been very, very happy with his play.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so speaking of good things, what are some, and looking ahead to next week, what are some good things that you guys are looking for from the team for next week? Like, what good things did we do this past weekend that we need to keep doing? And then to follow up on that, what are some things that we need to fix?
Keep doing. Took just needs to keep up his pressure in mid lane. He's been looking fantastic. We play Team Liquid next week and CLG, I believe.
Yeah, good times.
Very interesting because CLG is 3-0. Palafox has not looked bad, but I still think Tuca is the better player.
Oh,
and sure. I still think, well, that's not true. Jurg's actually kind of been looking like he's been ripping some people some new ones. So I think the real test will be Sunday against Team Liquid. Historically, and I say historically like it wasn't just last split, but historically, Tuke has handled Bjergsen very, very well. So we'll see how this quote-unquote new-looking Bjergsen does against Takoi. And if Takoi keeps him even in lane or even wins lane like he was last split, beautiful. That's exactly what I want to see. I do want to see Philip continuing to hold him. Nope, it died. Damn.
Yeah, no, okay, it's
there it
back.
is. Now
We're back! Hooray!
Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone. Hang on, let me refresh. All right, we're back. All right, audio listeners, if you don't know what happened, my internet did that thing where it just decides to die for 15 seconds and then come back. I don't know what the problem is.
I've been there. It might be your processor. Anyway, back to the show.
It could be. I hope not.
To answer your question about like what you want, what I would like want to see this upcoming weekend, big thing is I'm gonna be flat. End of last split, early this split, Afromu has not been leaving me satisfied with the veteranship I feel like he should be providing. And so I would like to see him kind of like step up into that like player that we hype him up to be. Because it's like random early ults and like the Yumi, not entirely his fault just because of the way things were. It's like it wasn't. It's not what I want to see. So I do want to see that. I'm gonna retweet Nox on the continuing to see Takui perform like at the level he does, because again, I love how he's playing. And then I think as a team, I want to make sure they're picking smarter team fights and addressing them, like being better about how they go about them, because I do think that was a fundamental part of the 2Ls we took this weekend, were just like some rough team fights that could have went differently if decisions were made differently.
Yeah.
I do think, like, despite CLG starting out 3-0, I think it should be a relatively easy time. It's going to be a more even matchup than I want it to be, but it still should be a relatively easy time. TL,
It was good, bro.
that's going to be... Everyone is getting skill checked there. That is
Yeah,
a universal skill check, I'm going to be honest.
It's gonna be a rough
Especially because I love Philip. I love you so much, man. I'm hyped for this NI talent. You know how I feel about Bwipo.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, well then let's go ahead and move over to our picks for the week. All right, so it's CLG on Saturday and then Team Liquid on Sunday. Got our scuffed camera thing back again one more time.
Scuffed camera thing.
Love it. All right, so CLG, they looked good this past weekend. However, their competition was not amazing. Nox, I'm actually going to ask you first. How do you feel about this matchup?
What it is, call me a doomer. I think CLG takes this. I got a bad feeling for some reason. I'm really hoping I'm wrong, but I've got a bad feeling.
Here's the thing. Call me a doomer because I'm right there with you. I don't know what it is, man.
You typed fly for me and for you.
Wait. What? Wait, I thought you were just saying CLG takes it. Oh, you did. Oh my gosh,
Your heart knows the right answer.
I'm completely
Sammy.
zoned out. I did.
Your heart knows the right answer.
I did type fly instead of CLG. Yikes. Yeah,
I'm gonna be the beacon of hope. All right.
Ah, yes. Now I can correctly type fly.
Cause y'all tripping, man. Y'all tripping so hard. You think just because they get a 3-0 week against Golden Guardians, TSM, and Dignitas, that they are gonna beat us?
I think.
Come on.
I think TSM is better than they were last year.
Well, yeah,
last split. And I think Golden Guardians wasn't bad last split, and they've mostly stayed the same. So I actually think CLG is like better than a 10th place org for once.
I mean, I'll agree with you there. They're gonna make 8th place probably, maybe even 7th. But like, Dignitas is so free.
Well, yes, and that means, and once we lose to them, it'll be very clear where we stand on things.
And if I'm gonna be honest, like, Golden Guardians is a flip a coin game. Like, if you flipped a coin, you could probably predict Golden Guardians correct. Like, I'm not saying they're a bottom place team. It's just how I feel about them, because they are good, and then sometimes they don't play like that. And then TSM, like, you're right, they are better, but still, man, no, it's free. It's free for us. CLG is so free. Like, Philip alone, it's going to gap Dokla, and you can quote me on that.
All right. Well, there's that. But, however, Team Liquid, I'm not sure how we're all feeling here, but I know where I'm at. This is a TL dub.
Yep.
Curly, I think you're right there, too.
Let me check my Venmo history with Blippo real quick. No, yeah. Unfortunately, this is not one I can be a big believer in FlyQuest for. As much as I want to be, TL Honda is just going to drive right over us.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to need to check in with Immortals Progressive to get our insurance claim for it.
Dude,
I'd prefer going.
Actually say the names.
I prefer going to the State Farm analyst desk. Right after my Roccat flip the switch replay of the Bud Light Ace, I need to return to the State Farm analyst desk right after Team Liquid Honda takes down TSM FTX, and then goes for the Red Bull Baron power play.
Hate you, Sandy.
We're not sponsored by any of those.
We just gave them so much free name drops.
Yeah. Don't forget C9 BMW. United
Well, no,
in Rivalry.
that's not officially in the name yet. That's not officially in
United
the name.
in Rivalry. Dang it, who else is there? 100 Thieves doesn't have anything.
They have a lot of sponsorships. They're just not as in your face as some of the other
They're
ones.
not in your name.
Cash App, 100 Thieves Cash App.
The 100 Thieves the Rocket Mortgage 100 Thieves. Yeah. Anyway, all right.
I don't know what this segment was, but we're never doing it ever again.
We're never doing this again. All right, let's talk about something a little bit happier. The Academy team. A 3-1 week for them. 1-1 split with Golden Guardians Academy, and then a 2-0 over Immortals Academy. So they are in game score tied with Team Liquid, but they are, I think, technically like half a series behind or something like that. But in second place, basically, which is fantastic. Still maintaining a really strong start to the season. And then upcoming this week, it's a triple week for them. They've got EG, CLG, and Team Liquid. So EG Academy looking a little rough, but both CLG and Team Liquid Academy are in the top half of the table so far. So Nox, just kind of give us the the overview of how they've been looking this past week and what your expectations are for the upcoming week.
Not gonna lie, the loss to Golden Guardians Academy kind of hurt a little bit because they still had their sub mid later in because Lider wasn't there. Yeah, I think the one thing I really do have to give to FlyQuest Academy is they are so resilient. They are just extremely resilient. There is a reason why, no matter what Discord I'm in or what part of Twitter, consistently pushes limits. And that's okay by me, but that's kind of the reason why a lot of these FlyQuest Academy games get absolutely bonkers. And then just because of the team synergy and how good the players actually are, in this case, 8 times out of 10, or 4/5 of the time, they manage to end up clutching it out and finishing and cleaning it up. And so it's all good. It is what it is. But they are definitely not the cleanest team in Academy, even though they are ranked second right now. With that said, heading into week 3, what you said, EG, CLG, and TL, right?
Mm-hmm.
So EG, I'm expecting that to be a 2-0. CLG, I haven't really been all that impressed by. Just to make a prediction, I'm also going to say 2-0, but I wouldn't be surprised by seeing a 1-1. TLA, I'm hard expecting a 1-1. They are a beatable team. I know they're very strong looking right now. They're 4-0-1. It is absolutely beatable, though. You can take a game off that team, and I'm really hoping they do.
Solid. Yeah, I've been really, really pleased with what I've been seeing from them so far. UG's just been really, really good in my mind, and yeah, I'm excited to see what else they've got in store for the rest of the season. Curly, any thoughts, or move on to last segment?
Unfortunately, this week and this upcoming week, not able to view it. Very busy with work,
No
unfortunately.
worries. All right. Quick little Smash thing for you all. I don't think there was no tournaments this past weekend, but Jmook is going to be competing at Phantom Tournament, which is apparently in Australia, from what I can tell.
Yo, that's wild.
Which is
All right.
and not only him, but like Mango's gonna be there. Yeah, it's like this whole thing. So that's pretty cool. And then Kadoran announced his I saw this tweet
He's
earlier.
got a bunch.
So he's also going to Phantom, but he's going to go to Double Down, Phantom, Wave Dash, Shine, Big House, Main Stage, and then he said whatever circuit finals. Might do more in between. Going to be a fun year. So that's like all in the last 6 months. So that's basically on average one tournament a month. So that is phenomenal. So be sure to keep following them on Twitter for all of your Smash news. And here I am changing the topic like right at the end of the segment. So yeah, so great to see that they will be competing in many, many more tournaments. I'm excited to see a tournament in Australia. That's pretty cool. I don't know if I've ever seen a Smash tournament there before. So that'll be pretty fun. Okay, well, we're going to be wrapping up the show. Bit of a shorter one tonight just because we had NXI on, but still always a good time. So thank you all for tuning into this episode of Flight Check. Week 2 of LCS starts Saturday. We've got CLG and TL this week. We'll see if the terror that is CLG will be able to take a game off of the FlyQuest boys. And hey, maybe we'll pull off another upset against Team Liquid. You never know. And in case we do, you'll be wanting to follow us on Twitter to get our instant reactions to that craziness. So you can catch the show at Flight Check Crew, myself at SantosDB, Nox at NoxWar with 2 R's, and Curly at Curly_QQ_. Make sure to hop into the Flight Check Discord as well, where all kinds of esports discussion and otherwise takes place, including fantasy LCS trash talk. Some people out there decide to drop Abadage for and pick up Blue. Those are choices, and those choices were made. And then other people among us decided to pick up Dokla last minute, and it really paid off for them. I have no idea who that person could be. Not saying he was prescient or anything, but maybe, you never know. Anyway, make sure to hop into the Discord so you can catch up on all of that fun times. If you missed any part of the episode, the VOD should be up on YouTube tonight or tomorrow morning. And remember that we always broadcast the show live every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, right here at twitch.tv/FlightCheckCrew. All right, Curly, any final notes, shout-outs, plugs, whatever you want to say? This is your time.
Final notes is like as rough as the start as this weekend was. I still have good faith for the team. I do think they're going to be able to step up, especially because like even though the losses hurt, they were never like, oh man, this was a stomp. And so keep it up, guys. I know you guys can like do the job of reflecting. Philip, can't wait to see you do more in the top lane. Takui, can't wait to see you holding it down more in the mid lane and across the map. In terms of shout-outs, shout out to everyone that helped me decide what is going to be replacing Valorant on Wednesdays on Twitter. You guys were very, very helpful with the poll. I appreciate the amount of responses I got, and I will probably be dropping an announcement on my Twitter tomorrow for what will be replacing it. So yeah, thank you guys.
It better be Assassin's Creed.
You'll have to keep an eye out for Twitter. That's all I will say. That's all I will say. And also, I might have given $104 to Steam recently. That's all I will say.
Sounds like Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Excellent.
That's everything for me.
Lovely. Nox, please regale us with your tales of amateur refereeing.
I'm actually done until the second qualifier, so
Sad.
I mean,
Pain.
Well, that'll only be like another week before I'm back at it again. So if anything, I kind of get the week off, which is kind of nice. Speaking of amateur, though, after this is done, go watch Cincinnati Fear versus Team Pending. They are on game 2 right now.
Yeehaw.
Winner plays 100 next in the finals tomorrow. So that should be very, very exciting. And finals tomorrow is the best of 5. Starts at 3 p.m. Pacific time. Other than that, first week of Pick'ems is done. Lonk. I don't know who you are, to be honest. You're random in the fly court. But Lonk got first for the week 1 with 14 correct picks.
Crazy.
Kind of crazy.
Crap.
And then Turley was the best out of us 3. He had 11, then I had 10, and
Naturally.
Sandy, you had 9.
Yeah.
I'm also
not
in
my
first
best.
place in fantasy. That's all I'll say.
We're top 3 in fantasy, I believe. All 3 of us.
We are.
So, rigged. Totally.
Not rigged at all.
Not rigged.
No.
Hashtag not rigged. All right. And then for my part, my shout out is going to be a show I started watching. It's called The Old Man. It's on Hulu. It's got Jeff Bridges in it, and it's really good. If you like slow burner, very tense kind of thriller stuff about a 70-year-old guy who is an ex-CIA agent, and now he's got the U.S. government coming after him, and he's on the run. This is the show for you, and it's like watching. There's only 2 episodes out right now. It's like watching a movie. That's how good the quality is, and it's just phenomenal. So go watch that show. It's on Hulu. That is my shout out. That's all I've got to say.
I think you're interested in that, Sandy.
No comment. We'll be back next week. We'll be back next week to discuss week 2 of LCS. So for now, stay safe out there. Don't forget to hit the head on the nail, and we'll see you all very, very soon. Adios.
Have a good one, guys.
Peace, y'all.